All right, for this lesson, we're going to do a mirror pattern. And I'm going to jump back real quick to the book on page 183 and just take another look at these planes that we're going to create to either mirror a surface or some features, and just go through them real quick. You can take a look at these, and it's basically telling you exactly what it needs for each one. So we have an offset distance. We can drag a plane out from a face and create a plane. We can create planes at angles. And again, when we create these, we're going to use first, second, and third references to create these planes depending on the type of plane we need to create. And so coincident, there's a couple different kinds. This one goes through 3 vertices starting down here and ending up at this top piece. Here's one that uses a line and a vertex. And again, we're starting at the bottom of the part and we're ending up towards this top. You can see this angled plane. We have parallel planes. It's using the surface and we're creating a parallel plane to it. Here we have tangent and perpendicular. So we're tangent, which means it's touching a circular surface, and it's also perpendicular to it. And so we've got this plane that is tangent and perpendicular to that top circular cylinder. Tangent and parallel. And so we're tangent to that cylinder, but now we're parallel to this face. So, and then here we have a midplane. So a lot of different options. And then the nice thing about creating another plane is we can sketch, we can create features, we can mirror about that plane. We can do a lot of stuff with that plane. So it helps us out quite a bit. So go ahead and open up the part. This one is going to be mirror pattern. So your part should look like this. Let's move this thing around. We'll make it look like the picture in the book on page 185, which is something similar to that. And this, for our reference geometry, we're going to come up here, and now we're going to create a plane. Opens up this dialog box here, and for our first reference, we're going to choose this side, this face. Let's flip this part around, and for our second reference, we're going to use this face, the opposite face, and what that does is now it automatically creates a midplane between those two faces. And so in this case, I don't need to use a third reference because that's what I want. I wanted that midplane. And so we're going to say, and we can see it's fully defined. And we have these other options in here, and we can make, we can add, it's basically like adding constraints to faces or features that we pick. But now we're going to select the green check mark. And if I wanted to, I could rename that plane. Sometimes we want to do that when we've got multiple planes, and we might hide them, but we want to make sure on the feature tree that we still have access to them. So we might name them a name that we're going to remember of what it is. So for a mirrored part or a mirrored feature, we can use this plane, and it's a lot like using mirror how we did before, but we're basically using a pattern instead of the mirror function. And so if I come up here into patterns and click the arrow and we select mirror, it's already selecting plane 1 as what I want to mirror about or over. And we're going to move this keyed hole over, and again I can either select it on the model itself, or I can come here and I can come down here and select keyhole 1. Wouldn't select because I had the wrong thing. We want to go here to features to mirror. Now we can select the keyed hole. We can see the example or the shadow over here, and we're going to click OK. And there we have our keyed hole. So again, just a different way to use mirror. Go ahead and save this part, and you're going to hand in the completed model under mirror pattern class demo.